Auto Obsessed here. There's a brand new 2022 C8 Corvette in torch red, and it's in our detailing studio for a new car prep detail. So what is a new car prep, and why would anyone spend the time and money detailing a brand new car? Check out this video to find out more. The Auto Obsessed approach to the new car prep detail is to make that car look perfect, feel perfect, and be perfectly protected for the new owner to fully enjoy. Essentially, the way a new car should be. One thing a lot of people don't realize with a new car purchase is that the car didn't even leave the factory at 100%. And what I mean by that is it wasn't cleaned, it did not go through any major final preparations. It has no protection at all added, such as paint protection, leather protection, waxes, etc. This is all left to the dealership and or up to the owner. So the car was essentially assembled, gone through many processes to verify that it was in full working condition, and then it was shipped. So a major variable in the initial condition of the car is the shipping, the transportation route the car takes from the factory to the owner. Where is it coming from? Maybe is it domestic or is it overseas? Is it sitting outside at a depot, a shipyard, a rail yard for weeks or maybe months? Is it delivered by an open car carrier? So the longer the shipping process and the longer it takes to the final purchase, generally the worse the initial condition of the car is, and that's because it had more time to get dirty and more people have had their hands on the car as it's moved from place to place. It has also spent a lot of time in industrial settings and subjected to a considerable amount of environmental contamination. So basically, it's been places that you would likely never ever take your car and definitely never leave it. So my analogy is, a car is not like, let's say, a brand new phone. So for example, a brand new phone, it goes through the assembly line, it's perfect, it gets wrapped, it gets packages, it gets double packaged, it's sealed, and it's shipped, and handled by many, many people. It's also packaged for the worst possible delivery and handling scenarios. So then when you do finally get it and you open it up, you take off all the wrappers, it's actually that perfect, fresh, factory fresh, absolute perfect brand new phone. So a car is nowhere anything like that because it's a car. You can't ship it in boxes, etc. So it's usually shipped outside. Regardless, our process begins with an initial inspection. We want to see what we're dealing with, what imperfections we'll need to take care of. As well, we discuss what the vehicle will be used for. So what is its usage? What will the car be subjected to? The approximate length of ownership, and then we'll suggest some new prep options. So like I said, the first thing a new car prep detail takes care of is making that car look perfect. So luckily the C8 Corvette came to us in a normal condition, overall in good condition with paint blemishes throughout. It had scuffs and adhesive residues. Overall, I'm going to rate this car as an average. So the first stage is a very thorough wash. In the wash stage, we do a full decontamination wash. We thoroughly wash the vehicle to remove any iron, or some may refer to it as rail dust, any residues, adhesives that were missed from when the car was previously prepared for sale. Now I know that may sound weird, but we've been detailing cars since 2010, and to be honest, we've never had a new car that didn't have iron or some sort of contamination that was left behind from the previous pre-sale prep. Our next stage is polishing. So even though this car has virtually 0 miles, it actually has only 7 kilometers on it. So this car was transported directly to the dealership and then it was trailered directly to our door. It only has 7 kilometers on it. So even though the paint is 100% new, all new cars lack that pop. And when we're in the polishing stages, we're not only removing slight defects, but we're also optimizing the paint and making that color more vibrant and intensifying the gloss. So the next stage is paint protection film, or in the industry it's referred to as PPF. So this is really the only way to give that paint and impact areas any real protection from the debris that the vehicle will be subjected to, whether that's from a vehicle in front that's picking up sand and small rocks and throwing it onto the car, or whether the vehicle itself is picking it up from the tires and impacting part of the car. So the amount of PPF required will depend on a few factors. So first factor is the vehicle type and what areas are more vulnerable. So on this Corvette C8, it has a very low front end and a really big slope. So vehicles in front are going to be picking up debris and sending it to the front of the vehicle. So the whole front of the car, the bumper, the headlights, the full hood, full fenders. We're going to have impact on the A-pillars, the first part of the roof, the mirror caps. Then we're going to look at next is what the vehicle itself is going to pick up from the road and again impact the car. So if the front tire is sticking out on any part of the body, that area is going to be affected. So the tire itself is also going to send rocks up. So the rocker panels on a car like this are a high impact area. This car too is kind of a wedge shape. So this part of the back end sticks out farther than the front. So that's going to be a high impact area. Behind the rear wheels, so the wheels themselves again are going to be picking up debris and sending it on the back. So these are high impact areas. Okay, and the final area to consider when selecting paint protection film is budget. So what coverage can you get in the budget that you're looking for? And in this particular case, the owner decided to do the whole car in paint protection film. So I call it bubble wrap. So essentially the whole car is bubble wrap and protected from not only impact areas that we talked about, but also any other potential scenarios. So this car is a Targa, for example. So this roof is going to be coming on and off. It's going to have to be stowed. So there's going to be handling of the roof, and that's going to get some abrasion and maybe get bumped and such. Also, covering the whole car, maybe the car comes across a light abrasion, someone's walking too closely, someone may be touching the car, maybe a bag or something. Paint protection film can generally handle most small impacts where maybe it only leaves a scuff on the film, or worst case scenario at times, maybe the film just has to be replaced. So it can handle a fair amount of impacts. Obviously not bulletproof, but it can definitely handle quite a few things that just paint unprotected wouldn't be able to handle. Another area in a new car prep is the paint protection. So what are we going to be putting on the paint itself? So it's going to be waxes, sealants, or coatings. So again, it's going to depend on the usage and what the owner wants. Maybe this is a summer-only car. The customer wants ultimate gloss. They want to enhance that color as much as possible, maybe the metallics, and they really want that warm look of what a wax does. Maybe they're more on a budget and they want something that's going to be durable, something that still looks great. So we might consider a paint sealant, or some may refer to it as a liquid wax. And then lastly, ceramic coatings. So ceramic coatings are kind of your longest lasting, has still incredible looks. They're very durable, and it cuts down the maintenance time quite a bit. For this Corvette, the owner decided to go with a ceramic coating. We put a professional ceramic coating on it, and that's going to give the car maximum durability It's got a great protection on it. It looks fantastic. It's also going to be very, very easy for the client to maintain. So even though the client is actually quite hands-on, enjoys detailing the car, this is just going to make that a little bit quicker. It's probably going to enjoy that aspect. Maybe he's going to spend a considerable amount of less time on it and put more time on the road with it. So for this particular case, it's a ceramic coating, and as you can tell, ultra glossy, and it looks fantastic. And the last area for consideration on a new car prep is the interior. So first of all, we're going to want to assess and figure out, again, what is the usage? What is the interior consisting of? So for example, does it have a light interior? Does it have maybe a lot of Alcantara? Does it have light carpets? Is it a convertible? In this case, it's a Targa top. So the top's going to be coming off quite a bit, so it's going to get dusty, etc. This car has dark leather, perforated leather with white stitching. So we opted to go with a leather protectant. So we're going to do a thorough leather clean, thorough leather protectant. Generally on a new car prep, we spend, on a car like this, we're going to spend about 2 to 3 hours on the interior. And I know that sounds kind of odd, but again, going back, the dealerships actually don't even have usually that much time to do the whole car. So there's many areas that are missed. There's many areas that aren't perfect. So we go through, make sure the glass is done properly, make sure all the leather is cleaned and conditioned, make sure the carpets are done, the vents, the dashboard, and put that whole thing together and make sure the car is brand new. It looks the way it's supposed to. Now this is what a new car should look like. I'm confident that the owner will be blown away by the results, assured that his investment is now well protected, and hopefully spend less time worrying about any damages and more time behind the wheel enjoying this beautiful Corvette. We hope you enjoyed this video on the Auto Obsessed new car prep process. The products we use can be purchased in store or online at autoobsessed.com, and we've also put all the links in the description below. Please help us bring more auto detailing content to you by giving us a like and subscribing to our channel. And thank you for watching.